You know, with thousands of teachings out there, what if the Buddha had one core principle that authenticates all the others? A single, super profound idea that he called the seal of the Dharma. Well, in this explainer, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to uncover what that seal actually is. This really is the central question of the whole sutra on the Dharma seal. And what's cool is it promises a direct answer, like a key that unlocks the entire framework for liberation. So, what is this ultimate truth? Let's find out. Okay, so the sutra doesn't waste any time. It gets right to the point with a statement that's, both simple and at the same time incredibly deep. It reveals that the Dharma seal, it's the direct understanding of emptiness. Just check out the poetic way the original text puts it. It describes this fundamental reality not by what it is, but by what it's not. It's saying emptiness has no physical location you can point to, no shape, no color you can see. It's almost like the background fabric of reality itself. Okay, so here's the crucial point, and we've got to get this right. Emptiness is probably one of the most misunderstood concepts in all of Eastern philosophy. It absolutely does not mean that nothing exists. Not at all. What it really means is that nothing exists independently. Everything, and I mean everything, arises from causes and conditions. It's always changing, and it has no fixed, permanent essence or self. But here's the thing. Understanding emptiness isn't just some intellectual exercise, right? The sutra makes it really clear that this seal, this core truth, is also a practical path. You can actually walk. It's a real method for freeing the mind, and it's structured as the 3 gates of liberation. So, how does this all turn into a clear roadmap for us? Well, the sutra actually provides a step-by-step guide for directly experiencing the reality of emptiness. It leads us through 3 really distinct stages of practice. So, first up, we learn to see the empty nature of our own experience. Then, the next step is to quiet that constant stream of sensory and mental signals bombarding us. And finally, we arrive at a state of wishlessness, or no action. Let's break each of those down. All right, the first gate. This one is all about perspective. It's not about changing the world outside, but about changing how we see the very components of our own consciousness. And believe me, it's a pretty radical shift from how we normally see things every day. Think about it. We normally experience our body, our feelings, our thoughts as these solid, stable parts of a permanent me, right? But the first gate asks us to really investigate them, to look closer and see them for what they are. Just fleeting, interdependent processes that honestly cause us a lot of distress when we cling to them so tightly. So once we've started to get a handle on the empty nature of our inner world, the second gate tackles how we perceive the outer world. It hones in on what the text calls signs, basically all the signals that construct our reality from one moment to the next. And these 6 avenues right here, this is how we build our entire world. Literally everything we know, everything we experience, comes through these channels. The sutra's pointing out that our reality is just this constant, non-stop stream of these perceptions. So the practice for this gate is meditation. We're talking about a state of really deep concentration called samadhi. The text explains that in this state of just unwavering focus, you can literally observe these signals, sights, sounds, even thoughts, as they just arise and pass away. And eventually, you can reach a point where they temporarily stop altogether. That's what's meant by the state of no thought or no sign. And the result of this practice? It's profound. I mean, just think about it for a second. When your mind isn't being constantly yanked around by all these external and internal signals, the root causes of our suffering, greed, anger, and ignorance, they're basically starved of the fuel they need to survive. They just fizzle out. All right, the final gate. This one takes us from that meditative experience to a really powerful logical insight. It's all about understanding the true nature of consciousness itself, and it leads to a state the sutra calls wishlessness, or no action. So what's the logic here? It's actually pretty straightforward. 1. Consciousness only arises when certain causes and conditions are met. 2. Those causes and conditions are themselves always changing. They're impermanent. So 3. How could consciousness itself be permanent or separate? The answer is, it can't be. And when you truly realize this, you stop striving or wishing for some permanent self that was never there to begin with. That's the gate of wishlessness. And this is the ultimate payoff. This deep insight completely dismantles the very foundation of the ego. That constant grasping for I and mine, it just dissolves. Why? Because you finally see with total clarity that there is no fixed independent self there to protect or possess anything in the first place. So, okay, after passing through these 3 gates, where do we end up? What's the final destination of this whole path? This path sealed by the truth of emptiness. The Sutra uses this really beautiful phrase for it: purity of knowledge and vision. It's not about gaining some new superpower or anything like that. It's simply about removing the distortions, the smudges on the lens that cloud our perception. It's about finally achieving a perfectly clear view of reality. And what does that pure vision actually get you? Well, for one, you see reality as it is, free from delusion. You're able to live in a state of balance, of equanimity. And maybe most importantly, you finally understand the source of true liberation. You see how it all works. So the final question the sutra leaves us with is a really personal one. See, the Dharma Seal isn't just some doctrine you're supposed to believe. It's a lens to look through. So if you really applied this framework, if you tried seeing emptiness, letting go of signs, and understanding the nature of consciousness, what would change in your own experience? What would you see differently?